Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Emily Lenzner. I'm the Senior Vice President of Communications for Atlantic Media, and I'm delighted to welcome all of you here today to And Justice for All, the Impact of Incarceration in America. And it's so good to see so many of you here bright and early. There's such a wealth of knowledge just in this room, policy experts, congressional staffers, activists, and journalists. So one of the topics we're going to address today is the First Step Act. After receiving bipartisan support and being signed into law by President Trump, many are probably wondering what happens next. Even with this reform bill, more than 6.5 million people are in U.S. prisons and jails, on probation or on parole. In any given year, the U.S. spends about $80 billion on just locking people up. When 1 out of every 38 people is entangled in the criminal justice system, the impact is felt everywhere. By families, partners, kids, parents, by our communities, especially those struggling on the margins. And policymakers are just beginning to examine the fallout and what needs to change, if anything. And that's what we're going to explore this morning through a wide range of perspectives from around the country. We'll hear from reform advocates from Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, Florida, New York, and from those concerned about the direction that reform has taken. We'll hear from the formerly incarcerated, including Matthew Charles, the first person released under this new law. We'll hear from families, and you'll also have a chance to join the conversation when we open it up to questions after each panel. But before we begin, I want to thank Forward.us because without them and their support, this gathering would not be possible. So one last practical note. Please silence your cell phones, but keep them close because we're on Twitter at AtlanticLIVE, and we'd love to have you join the conversation. The hashtag is AtlanticJustice, no spaces. And with that, let's begin.